All right, so let's do it. So let's do this problem. I'm going to actually solve them on here so I can ship it out to YouTube for y'all. So, because the first 7 I haven't recorded. So let's do it. So, okay, we did this one yesterday. Let me do it again briefly. Remember the Condorcet candidate thing? So this is the practice exam now. This is very much what the real exam will be like on Wednesday, next Wednesday. So chapters 1 and 2. So here we go. So you're going to have questions like this. Condorcet candidate. What's a Condorcet candidate?
A candidate that is preferred by the voters in each one-to-one comparison.
Okay, good. Can you give it to me in base level talk? I mean, that's formal. That's good.
Candidate that beats everyone else.
Beats everybody else, 1-to-1.
They go 1-to-1, they beat everybody else.
Exactly. We all good with that? That's exactly it. 1-to-1, winner for everybody. Now, so the question is that B? And then I'm just starting at the top of the list. You know, you'll have your Scantron next Wednesday, and it's just multiple choice, just like this. B, I don't know what, 25, 30 questions, something like that. So, is B a Condorcet candidate? I'll just start there. How did we decide? We did it yesterday. What did we do? How do you figure out if B is a Condorcet?
It's not.
And how did you know it's not, Mr. Eric?
It's not even in the first place for anything.
Well, let's be a little more specific. Just line them up, right? Just line them up. Just say, hey, B versus A, B versus C, B versus D. Let's see it. Let's see what B can do. This is what they do in soccer when they want to see, are you good? Match them up 1-on-1. Can you take them? That's what they do. So B and A, let's see it. B and A, let's see what happens.
It already loses.
It already loses. Do you see it? So these 6 right here, who do they, in a B versus A competition, who do they prefer? B over A. In the next 3, in a B versus A competition, who do they prefer? A, right? A's higher than B. For those 3. For these 5, who do they prefer? A or B? A over B. And for these 8, who do they prefer? A or B? A. So who won that competition? Who got more votes? A. So A won that competition. So could B be a Condorcet candidate? No way. Because he doesn't win all of his 1-to-1. So it's not that answer. How about the next one? Is A Condorcet candidate? Does A beat everybody? That's the question. Well, he already beat B. We only have to check a couple more. I'm not going to bother with these anymore. Does A? We already know A beats B right here. A beat B. Does he beat C and does he beat D? If so, he's a Condorcet. Let's go back and see it. Let's match him up 1-to-1. So A versus so look right here. A. So the first 6, who do they prefer in an A to C matchup? Do they prefer A or C? They like A. These 3 people, who's their preference? A or C? A. These 5, who's their preference? A. See, A's whopping them. These 8, they prefer C, but A still won. A got more votes, huh? So A beat C in head-to-head matchup. Finally, we got to check and see if he beats D. He's beat everybody else. Can he beat D? It's A versus D now. So these 6, who do they prefer? A or D? They prefer D. D is higher. These 3, who do they prefer? A or D? D. They have D higher than A. These 5, who do they prefer? A. These 8, who do they prefer? A. A got 13 there. 8 and 5. And D got 9, 6 and 3. So A won again. So A beat everybody 1-on-1. So what does that make A? Condorcet. There's our answer. A is Condorcet on that. Julie. What's that? Oh, I was just matching them up with everybody. I just said, okay, if I just started with the first option, and I was just going to take, because that was just first on the list, no other deeper reason than that. I just said, all right, I'll see if answer A is right. B is Condorcet. How do you test if B is Condorcet? You have to match it up against everybody. So I just took B and I just put it next to every other letter. That's all. And I just worked them out. That's all I'm doing. So for Condorcet, that's all we're doing. That's a good question. Everybody with me on that? That's all I'm doing there is I'm just grabbing a letter and matching it with all the other letters and seeing if it beats everybody. That's what it takes to be a Condorcet candidate. So there's probably a question on Wednesday's exam similar to this, asking if somebody's a Condorcet candidate. So make sure you practice this enough to where you can do it in the middle of an exam in a reasonable amount of time. Like that. All right. Number 2, the ranking of the candidates using the extended plurality method. So can you go up there and we're using that same chart for number 2 and 3 and for a few of them here. Can you do extended plurality? So which one's plurality? What do we do for that one? You get a 3x5 card, right? By the way, people have asked me, it's a good question. Mr. Aaron, how should I make my 3x5 card? For sure, while you do the practice exam. That's going to be the most beneficial way of making your card, because as you're going through the practice exam, every time you need something, like if you wanted to write down some Condorcet information for yourself, write it. And right then. Whereas it won't work as well if you do the whole practice exam and then a day later, it's the night before the exam, just kind of write whatever comes to your mind on the card. You're going to miss a lot of stuff. Be way better is as you're doing the practice exam, write down things as you do. Because I promise, I make a solemn oath, there'll be nothing on the real exam that's not identically on the practice exam with just different numbers. It'll be this stuff and nothing more. So if you learn this, you're good. What's that?
First question will be...
Not that order. But there'll be a Condorcet. Okay, so how do you do extended plurality? Do you remember that one, or do you need to have something written on your card? What's plurality? Don't worry about extended. What's plurality? Just first choice, huh? That's the way we do president, right? Of the United States. So, yeah, we just come up here and go, okay. Let's do it. So if we're doing plurality, then all we care about is first choice votes, huh? So I'll just write them down, A, B, C, D. How many did they get? So it looks like D got 6 and 3. D got 9. A got 5, and C got 8.
So B is out.
Yeah, well, we're done. The whole election's over. It's not the knock them out. So we're just done. So who won the election? D won the election, followed by C. A got 3rd place, B's last. So the order should be D first, followed by C, followed by A, followed by B, right? D, C, A, B?
None of the above.
Oh, it's disturbing, isn't it?
Why?
Is that good? Does that make sense? See how I came up with DCAB? Because D was first, followed by C, then A, then B. DCAB, and it's not here. Okay. Right? This is DCBA. It's close. There's no DCAB. So it's none of the above. So let me comfort you before the real test. There are some none of the above answers. Not a ton of them, not like half the test or something, but probably 4 or 5. I don't know, it varies on the different tests. 3, 4, 5, no more than 5, I would think. 3, 4, 5, something in that neighborhood. Maybe 6, I don't know. Probably 4 or 5, probably. None of the above answers. They will be there. I'm not trying to just be. I'll just tell you. I always, I hate your none of the above. I always hear that. I've heard that a million times. I hate it. I know it. I know it's hard. I'm not meaning to be mean, but it is my job to faithfully test if you really know the material, and that way I know you're not just guessing your way through the test. Yeah. You really know when you know, and you know when you don't. You're really working them out. So that's what that's there for. So don't be alarmed. There are 3 or 4, maybe 5. Probably 4 or 5. None of the above's on the exam. Don't be alarmed. You got the right answer. It's none of the above. Move right on. All right. How about number 3? Ranking plurality with elimination. So now we just do that same thing, but we just start cutting out the low guy. So we'll do what Jessica was saying. We'll take these results. Who are we going to cut out? This is like round 1 now, huh? B. Who are we going to cut out in round 1? Yeah, out with B. So I'll just take this and extend it. Round 1, out with B. Right? B's out in round 1. And then we do round 2. I'm probably going to need a fresh screen there. Then we do round 2. Or maybe I can squeeze it in over here. Well, I need to see the options, so I'm going to... Here we go. So question 3, extended plurality with elimination. That's where we eliminate the low guys. So again, round 1. It's all first place votes. Round 1, we had A, B, C, D. And what was it again? D was 9, C was 8, A was 5, and B didn't get any. So B is out. So B's going to be last place. So right away, it's got to be one of those options. Huh? You know B is last place. It's got to be, or it could have been none of the above. That's why we have to work it all out. So next, round 2, all we have left is A, C, and D. So round 2, I'm going to go up here and cross out B, right? But of course, that doesn't change anything. It's still 5, 8, and 9. So who do we cross out now? A's out. So A's got to be second to last. It's got to be one of those two. See how you're just narrowing it down pretty quick here? And now, round 3. And so it's just C or D. I go back up and I cross out A. Bye-bye A, bye-bye A, bye-bye A, bye-bye A. Remember that? You cross them out when they're eliminated. So this time D has 9, right? The 6 and the 3. And C gets this vote and this vote now that A's out. D gets 5 plus 8, 13. I'm sorry, C. C, he gets 5 plus 8, 13. C wins. C is the winner right there. The answer is C. C wins. D is second place.
Okay.
Wait, how did you do 13 when there's only 8?
These 5 and these 8 all go. See, because, yeah, the A dropped out now. So they get those. C now gets those votes, huh? Does that make sense? 5 and the 8. We good?
Yes.
All right. Let's keep moving. So move through the test without getting majorly bogged down. You know when you take a math test, always do the easy ones first. Go back to the hard ones. Don't get stuck on something, because then you'll waste all kinds of time, and you won't actually get to the ones that you could have easily gotten right because you wasted all your time, the ones you're going to miss anyway. Likely or probably, right? So do the easy ones first. That really helps. Go through the whole test. Do the easy ones first. But yeah, you need to practice this until you're fairly efficient. Right? So, yeah, I want to be, when I look at it, I have a glance at the real thing. This thing has, the practice has more. The practice is like 33 or something, I think. The real test would be like 25, 26. I'll let you know for sure Tuesday. But a few less. All right, number 6, an election. 4 candidates. Using voting method X. Winner of the election is candidate A. Due to irregularity, bless you, in the original vote count, a recount is required. Before the recount takes place, candidate B drops out of the race. In the recount, still using voting method X, candidate D wins. Based on this information, we can say that method X violates the... That's a lot of words, but do you remember? So part of it is you're grabbing out what you need. Yeah, they're talking about somebody. Which one of our criteria, and you can write them on your 3x5 card, talked about somebody dropping out? Yeah, the independent one. Huh? That's the only one where like somebody dropped out and they read.
Nobody.
So it has to be. Oh, is it not there? Oh no, it's there. Yeah, independence. There it is. Right. That's the only one that talks about the dropout thing. How about number 7? Arrow's impossibility theorem implies that. What does it imply?
B. Oh no, D.
It is impossible to have a voting method that satisfies all 4. Right? Arrow proved it was impossible to have a perfect voting method. That you're always going to break one of those 4. Yeah. Do you get that? Does that make sense? That little question might be on the test. I don't even know. So, it could be. It literally may be. Yeah, some of these exact ones will be on there. Does that make sense? It's impossible to have a method that satisfies. Those other words are kind of close, aren't they? They're pretty tricky the way these author people wrote these questions. But that's the right one. All right.